This month, July, more than 13,000 researchers and clinicians gathered from all over the world in London and online at the Alzheimer's Association International Conference, AAIC. AAIC is the largest scientific meeting in our field. So today I want to take you a little bit deeper into the science behind the Alzheimer's blood test and what that new research that was unveiled at AAIC is telling us about where this field can go. These tests work by measuring specific forms of a protein called phosphorylated tau, or p-tau. As Alzheimer's develops in the brain, it causes p-tau to leak into the bloodstream and become detectable by a blood test. The type of test you'll hear about most often today is p-tau 217. When levels are elevated, it's a strong signal that Alzheimer's pathology is present. The FDA-cleared tests on the market today are already highly accurate. One of them, for example, correctly diagnoses Alzheimer's more than 95% of the time in people with symptoms. That result is as strong as the most accurate diagnostic alternative, an amyloid PET scan. When used for screening people with no symptoms, a positive result doesn't mean a diagnosis on the spot. It means further evaluation, just like in the case of mammography, for instance, with breast cancer. That follow-up could include cognitive testing or specialist referral, and that's where you confirm whether or not a diagnosis is actually appropriate. This week, two major studies on Alzheimer's blood tests came out of AAIC, and together they show how fast the science is moving, and both make the case for ASAP even stronger. The first study dealt with diagnosis. Diagnosis is closely related to, but not exactly the same thing as screening, which is the focus of ASAP. Nevertheless, it's highly relevant. The study confirmed that something we've already seen today already in clinics. For people with symptoms, a positive blood test is a powerful tool for doctors, including primary care physicians, not just specialists, to reach an accurate diagnosis faster. In fact, with the aid of a blood test in hand, primary care physicians were shown to be essentially as accurate in making a diagnosis as were specialists. That is real progress for people looking for answers right now. But it's the second study that points to where this is headed is even more directly relevant to ASAP. Researchers followed nearly 2,700 cognitively healthy older adults, people with no symptoms at all, for up to a decade. Those with the highest levels of p-tau 217 had a 78% chance of developing cognitive impairment within 10 years. A simple blood draw taken years before symptoms appear is exactly what Americans want in overwhelming numbers. That's what many would most want to know so they can do things like planning, making lifestyle changes known to promote a healthy brain, participating in clinical trials, and hopefully soon, using medications approved to delay the onset of symptoms. That's the mammogram moment we keep talking about, a routine screening that could catch a disease years before it takes hold. And right now, it's out of reach. Under current law, Medicare cannot cover any screening tests for diseases that cause dementia, no matter how clear the science. The ASAP Act would give Medicare the authority to cover tests like this going forward, using the same evidence-based process it already relies on for other screening tests. And the pipeline keeps growing. More tests are coming with increased precision. The ASAP Act doesn't pick a single test. It creates the authority for Medicare to cover FDA-cleared tests as they come to market. That means the Act becomes more important, not less, with every new advance. The science keeps moving forward. It's time for the law to catch up.